Так, ну продолжаем проходить Fallout New Vegas. Закончили в прошлой серии с одной интересной локацией. Лагерь НКР, который потерпел немало, так сказать. Ну, в общем, там всех съели, убили. Оказывается, там была пещера с озерниками. Какими-то мутантами, которые обитают во всяких таких болотистых и прочих водных местах. А сегодня, я думаю, двинемся в лагерь Маккарран. Вот я уже к нему, собственно, подхожу. Посмотрим, что за место. Уже почти в Нью-Вегас добрались. Осталось чуть-чуть. Но такие интересные места я пропускать не хочу. Поэтому давайте посмотрим, что это такое. Такс. Вход, полагаю. Караванщики.
I hear a troublesome Legion camp got razed to the ground.
Торговец красного
I've never seen a
каравана.
robot like that before. Fucking expensive to get into the strip these days.
Не торгует. Ты кто? Охранник. Суровый. Здорово.
Nelson's back in our hands. Hope we can defend it this time.
Ну, постарайтесь, постарайтесь. Такс, ну, заходим. Вот и лагерь Маккарран. Угу. А, это аэропорт. Заброшенный. Так, с тобой можно поговорить? Нет. Я понял. Что-то пусто у вас как-то. Так, мне, кстати, еще нужен майор Дейзи, или как его там зовут. Мне на фермах подсказали, что у него есть работёнка. Сейчас посмотрим. Так, какие-то рации. А никого, да, вообще не смущает, что гражданские тут у вас ходят спокойно? Так, тут что-то интересное есть. Ладно, посмотрим. Молодец, стреляй, все правильно. Ты кто? Боец. Сейчас будем искать людей, с которыми можно поговорить. Пистолет с глушителем, кстати говоря. Так, это я возьму. Крышка есть какая-нибудь интересная? Нет, все обычные. Пистолет я тоже, пожалуй, заберу. А, у меня полностью починенный. Нет, тогда забирайте. Так, ладно. Ты кто? Боец тоже обычный. Так, а у вас все, видимо, вот там, да? В терминале. Все, в смысле, ну, офицеры, командование, в общем. Лазарет. Тут что-нибудь может быть? Школа выживания. Еще медикаменты. Слушай, мне бы антирадин, если есть. Мне много не надо. Просто желательно весь. Ты посмотри, даже у них нету антирадина. Опа. Тихо, тихо. Пакет крови не нужен, спасибо. Так, вот тут много людей. Ща глянем. Здравствуй, боец. Так, а это типа склада, да, у вас такого, наверное? Я могу спокойно брать патроны отсюда? Ну ладно. А медицины нельзя. Так, тут тоже. Вот этот пакетик мне нужен. Все, хорошо. Да, порядок. Черт. Спалила все-таки. Ну ладно. И саквояж забрала. И антиродины. О, нет. Черт, ладно.
Hey.
О. Вы из первого разведбата?
Hey, my man. Ten of spades. First recon sharpshooter. At your service.
О. А я был знаком с вашим одним товарищем. Десятка пик? Откуда такое имя?
The LT. Gorobets gave it to me. See, I wanted to be ace of spades. But the LT says, sorry kid, you're too green. So he calls me 10 instead. It's okay though. I get a few more kills under my belt. He'll move me up to Jack. Jack of spades. Sounds better, right? I keep at it. Eventually I'll make it to ace. I think I'll skip queen though.
Ну да. Ты в порядке?
Oh yeah, fine. Just a little stutter. Had it since I was a kid. Doesn't stop me from kicking ass.
Да, точно.
Damn right.
Давно стал снайпером?
Shit. Long as I can remember. Had a rifle in my hand since I was 3. That's what my dad always says. Learned to shoot on our ranch, way west of here. Same as the LT. He's a farm kid too.
Понял. Давно поступил на службу?
Oh, they recruited me, what, a year ago? Taught me to kick even more ass than before. These guys, they really know how to kick some ass.
Понял, понял. Чем занимаешься?
Kicking ass. Mostly kicking ass. See, we're watching the perimeter right now, looking for those fiends to come back. When they show their faces, that's when we go to work. One shot, one kill. That's the first recon way.
Понял.
Yeah, I'll see you around.
Давай, давай.
Evening.
Ты кто?
Patrolling the Mojave almost makes you wish for a nuclear winter.
Сержант.
I'm Bitter Root, first recon. You got a reason to talk to me?
Горячавка? Какое необычное у тебя имя?
You trying to start trouble? Or do you really not know where I got that name?
Я не со зла. Не рассказывай, если не хочешь.
It's a con name. You know, the great cons. That's what my parents were. I figured I grew up around the bastards. They owed me a name after all they put me through.
Угу. И что с ними случилось?
They're dead. Got themselves killed at Bitter Springs. Served them right, if you ask me.
Угу. Ну, я уже знаю, что случилось под Bitter Springs.
Yeah.
Так что... Где я могу найти эту работу?
You a merc? Well, then I guess you want to talk to my father, Major Daughtry.
О,
He's our CO.
вот он мне и нужен. Твой командир, твой собственный отец? Разве это разрешено?
Yeah, look, he's not my real father. He just looked after me for a while. It's a long story. I get
Ну,
tired
я
of talking
понял,
before it
да,
was
да,
through.
точно. Твои же погибли. Ну, давай.
All right. Goodbye.
Интересно, если бы я сюда с Буном пришел, что бы он им сказал? Был бы рад их увидеть? Напарников своих бывших. О, это какая-то блатная палатка. Так, ну и тут кто имеется? Капрал Стерлинг.
Howdy. Name's Sterling, First Recon. Can't say I've seen you before. I'd remember if I had.
Ты запоминаешь всех, кто тут ходит?
Got a good memory for faces, landmarks and such too. Comes with practice, that's all, and a lot of scouting from place to place.
Какая у тебя интересная винтовка, да, кстати. Скоба Генри, да?
I call her the Long Carabine. Didn't always have the scope. I added that myself. Been shooting with her so long, couldn't bring myself to toss her away. Would have felt guilty to part with the old girl. The other snipers used bolt action, but Garretts reckoned it didn't matter none if I was different, so long as I could hit my targets.
Угу. Ты всегда служил в первом разведбате?
Used to be a ranger, one of the first they sent out east back before we took the dam. Observation and reconnaissance. We took the lay of the land, checked out the locals, and kept ourselves inconspicuous. A couple friends of mine were the first to scout the dam. That was back in '73, if I recall. A lot of those rangers are dead now. Vegas always chewed men up. It's just a little more literal nowadays.
Почему ты ушел из рейнджеров?
Well, that wasn't really a matter of choice. Got myself caught by legionaries up near Malpay. They had themselves some fun with me. Mangled my hands and feet pretty good. Wasn't much good with the pistol after that. Wasn't gonna be trekking across the waste on any more long scouts either.
А как ты сбежал из Мальпайса?
Caesar's boys figured I wasn't going anywhere after what they'd done to me. So they didn't bother tying me up. I crawled out of there on my elbows and knees. Must have looked a sight. Then I rolled down an embankment into the Colorado. Guess I had a mind to drown rather than give Caesar's boys the satisfaction of killing me. But a couple rangers happened to be watching from across the river. They jumped on in and pulled me out of there. Lucky break, they said.
Серьезный дядька. Как долго вы тут стоите?
Going on 6 months now, but I reckon we'll be moving out soon enough. Can't talk about the details. Till then, we'll man the towers and keep an eye on the fiends. We've had more than our share of trouble from their direction. Whole thing smells of Caesar to me. Of course, that's just guesswork. But I'd still bet a few caps he's stirring up the locals against us.
Понял. Давай, до свидания.
Always a pleasure. Keep yourself safe.
Nelson's back.
Еще
I'm
один.
Lieutenant Garretts, 1st Recon. If you're looking to collect a bounty, you should talk to Major Daughtry.
Да, я сейчас с ним поговорю. А разве в НКР не объявляют наград за голову врагов?
If they've proven hard to kill, yes. Whatever it takes to get the job done, even if it means hiring help from outside the military.
Понял. Ну, давай. Про ваш разведбат я уже все слышал. И капрал Бетси.
Never seen you around before. What do you want?
У вас тут тяжелые бои?
Not unless you count the fiends as serious. Garretts keeps us inside the fence most of the time. Doesn't matter to me. I just shoot bad guys. Sooner or later, they'll move us out to the dam, though. That's when the shit gets nasty.
Что ты имеешь в виду?
Legion fights to win, and they're smart. Hell of a lot smarter than these crazy fiends. But I don't feel bad about shooting Legion boys. Fiends, on the other hand, sometimes I get pangs of conscience. Not often, but sometimes.
Давно уже мне уже никто не говорил про совесть.
Some cute little junkie bitch, so fucked up she doesn't even know that she's the bad guy. And I've got a headshot her. Makes me think. Might just be sex, though. I see some cute little number and I'd rather get in her pants. So maybe I'm a stone-cold bitch after all.
Я понял тебя. Ну, давай.
Yeah, try not to get killed.
Предлагать тебе свидание, думаю, бесполезно. Даже если бы я захотел. Так,
Hello?
горячавка. Вот еще какой-то парень стоит. Тренируется. Ты кто? Маленький паршивец. Шо?
Let me guess. You got work for me, right? Well, you're too late. I just quit the bounty trade. As soon as I pick up some caps that Daughtry owes me, I'm out of this scrapyard.
Почему Датри должен тебе крышки?
Because I killed a couple of marks for him, that's why. You ever hear of Jackson? Or Night Terror?
Я так понимаю, это черти.
Damn right they were. They were good, too. Till I popped a couple shells in their assholes. Bam. Dead. Finished. Over. See, somebody gives me a job, I do it. Maybe I complain a little here and there, but my shit gets done.
Давно промышляешь охотой за головами?
Oh, shit, I don't know. Gotta be at least a month. Longer than I last at most jobs.
Ты много профессий сменил?
Oh, yeah. A lot. Like before I was a bounty hunter, I worked as a caravan guard. You'd think that was a cakewalk, right? Wrong. Crazy bastards expected me to wake up at dawn. Forget it. It's about 2 hours after this guy hits the sack. And I need at least 10, 12 hours of sleep to do my job. Price of excellence.
Я тоже охочусь за головами иногда.
Well, hey, the field's wide open now that I'm gone. Probably lots of people looking to get in once they hear I quit.
И что ты будешь делать теперь?
Simple. Gonna make myself some easy money. I got a plan. Once I get my caps from Daughtry, I'm going to head on over to Gomorrah and win big at cards. There's not as many people playing at Gomorrah, so that means I've got better odds of winning big. I got this figured out.
Понятно. А почему ты бросил эту работу?
See, I thought the bounty hunting trade would be easy money, but it turns out it's hard work, so screw it. Also, I ran into this Mark who was a little too tough for me. I mean, I could have taken him. But with this guy, might have cost me some bad burns or an ass rape. I'm all for risking my life, but I'm a little sensitive about my asshole.
Все, понял тебя. Давай.
Hey, yeah. Next time you see me, maybe I'll be rolling in a shitload of caps, right?
Ага. Маленький паршивец. Ну, пойдем. В Маккарран. Изучим теперь внутренний терминал. Здравствуй.
We won't go quietly. The Legion can count on that.
Вероника. Как тебе тут? Ничего не хочешь сказать?
What's up?
Нет, ты еще не говоришь ничего. Я все жду от нее какой-нибудь квестик, может быть? Какая-нибудь реплика. Так, ну давайте осмотримся тогда здесь. Тут у вас все пусто. Давай сюда сходим. Так, кто-то есть. Не ты, Дарти?
What is it?
Не.
Nice to meet you. I'm Curtis.
Что делаешь?
Officially, I'm in charge of Bravo Company. But since General Oliver has Bravo and most of our forces here garrisoned, I'm free to do other things. So I work with Colonel Shu on logistics, patrols, supply lines, reinforcements, that sort of thing. Lately, it's been less about that, and more about figuring out how that information is getting leaked to raiders. It's a big base with a lot of unhappy soldiers. They get stir-crazy. Hard to separate the malcontents from the actual culprit.
Понял. Давай.
Later.
Так, мне нужен ваш... Этот, майор Дарти. Или Датри, как его. Так, ну, туалеты мне, наверное, не нужны. Недоступна пока дверь. Что вот здесь произошло? Кому-то было плохо, видимо. Я могу выйти отсюда еще? А, ну это же, да, я отсюда пришел. Так, давай тогда противоположное крыло осмотрим. О. Портрет. Президент.
Something I can do for you?
О, Джеймс Шу. Слышал про тебя
We're all
что-то?
impressed with the work you've done for us. Thought you might be able to make use of this. It's a key to a little hideaway south of here. We've used it as a place for rangers to rest and resupply. I thought you might get good use out of it.
О, спасибо. Слушайте, работа на НКР на самом деле приносит какие-то плоды, наконец-то. Если вам будут нужны лишние руки, я к вашим услугам.
There are a lot of things I can't spare troops for right now. If you can help us, we can definitely pay you for your work. You don't cook by any chance, do you? Farber's doing his best, but it's hard to manage an army with half my staff in line for the latrine. Honestly, we're fighting a lot of fires right now. The fiends keep pressing their position from Vault 3. We've got the Legion breathing down our necks across the river. We actually took an officer alive last week, but so far he hasn't spoken a word.
Черти.
As in chem fiends. Biggest gang of raiders I've ever seen. Nothing like addiction to swell your numbers. Psychotic and completely unpredictable. They set up shop in Vault 3 to the west. Every day they attack our positions and my men repel them. But every day there's more of them and less of us. I sent one of my rangers after their leader to try and destabilize them. He didn't return. Hell of a thing, losing a ranger. You come to depend on them. And they come through for you so often, you forget it can happen.
Ну, слушай, я пойду в убежище 3 и попробую найти вашего рейнджера.
That vault is a hornet's nest. If you have second thoughts, no one would think less of you for it. But if you can get him home, it'd mean a lot. Watch for civilians, too. The fiends have been kidnapping locals. They just walk right into people's homes in the middle of the day and take them. But the man you're looking for is Bryce Anders. Anders was trying to find the leader, Motor Runner. You hear something like a chainsaw? You've found Motor Runner. Put a bullet in his head, and you'll have some new friends around here.
Понял. Еще проблемы?
Yeah. On top of everything else, I can't send a patrol on a bathroom break without it being ambushed by someone who heard they were coming. So somebody's getting the word out.
Ну, слушай, я могу попробовать выяснить, кто сдает информацию противнику.
Well, why not? Given your recent arrival, at least I can safely rule you out as the leak. I'd like to have absolute trust in my men, but that's just not practical right now. Go ahead and look into it. See what you find. We don't have much to go on right now. Lately, every raiding party in New Vegas seems to have a map of our troop movements. It derails everything. Supplies, reinforcements. And it'll only get worse the longer we let it go on. Captain Curtis is heading up the investigation right now. He can fill you in.
Окей. Шпиономания. Так, отлично. Неужели все так плохо? У вас такой спокойный вид?
Calm is what you have to be when people look to you. And it's all you can be when things are out of your hands.
Понял. Какие сложности возникают здесь, в НКР?
Everything was going according to President Campbell's plan at first. We met minor resistance from local troublemakers. But our two main objectives are still contested. Mr. House controls the Strip and he won't so much as meet with our ambassador. And we're holding Hoover Dam. But Caesar's Legion is positioning itself to overrun it. If it falls, so will New Vegas. We'd be forced to withdraw.
Спорим, я смогу разговорить вашего легионера?
I have Lieutenant Boyd on that already, and she's excellent. But I think she's hit a wall. Talk to her if you like. See if she has any use for you. Her office is right above mine, but I think she might be interrogating right now. So she'd be upstairs on the other side of the building.
Ща мы разговорим эту собаку. Какова роль лагеря Маккарран в операциях НКР?
It's our main base. We took it because it lets us keep an eye on the Strip, and it had already been fortified before the Great War. From here we handle most of the logistics for our operations in Nevada. Troop allocation, supply distribution, intel. Usually General Oliver runs the show here, but he's on his way to the dam now, so I've taken on a lot of his duties here.
Понял. А как идут дела на территориях между лагерем и дамбой?
Unfortunately, no. In fact, the word from the ranger stations has been especially concerning lately. Sounds like they've run into overwhelming resistance, and supplies just aren't reaching them. It's been so bad, I asked Sergeant Reyes at Camp Forlorn Hope to look into it, and see how it is that things could be so fouled up there.
Угу, ну я там был уже. Так, ну давай.
Bye.
Да, да нет, все вроде пока. Так, это у меня получается новый квестик, во-первых, шпиономания. Во-вторых, надо будет подняться сейчас наверх, посмотреть там, что с этим легионером. А, это все, конец, да? Нет, тут еще что-то есть. А, лаборатория. Здравствуйте.
Little busy at the moment, but I can talk.
Что за место?
This? The OSI lab. We don't get many visitors. The smell puts people off, I think. Nobody ever said science would smell clean and fresh. Anyway, you get used to it if you give it some time.
Помощь не нужна?
You mean give you work? No, that'd be up to the administrator, Hildern. He's back there in his office. Between you and me, I don't think he ever leaves. Plenty of mercs go in to see him, though.
Наемников? Зачем?
I can't say. We're not supposed to talk about the research. Not the details. If you're interested, I'm sure he'd see you.
Так, хорошо, давай.
Nice to meet you. If you need anything, I'm almost always in the lab.
Буду знать. Так, интересно. Здравствуйте.
A pleasure to meet you. I'm Dr. Thomas Hildern, Director of Operations, OSI East. I presume you're here about Vault 22?
Нет, впервые слышу об убежище 22.
No, they wouldn't have briefed you, would they? Probably better that our junior fellows stay within the bounds of their pay grade anyway. Vault 22. Where to begin?
Я слушаю.
Imagine, if you will, the wasteland in bloom. Vast fields of corn that grow from seeds and produce their bounty in the space of a month. Orchards of trees, their branches weighed halfway to the ground, hung with fat, ripe oranges, a harvest that could feed a city or a nation. And all this, requiring no more than a few drops of precious water and the efforts of only a handful of human farmers. Impossible?
Давайте ближе к делу.
Fair enough. My point is this. I believe that the inhabitants of Vault 22 unlocked the secrets of vegetative growth. Plants are spilling from their gate. No one tends them. No one waters them. Yet they multiply and spread in all directions. Find the reason for this miraculous growth, and I promise you the OSI will see that you are generously compensated.
Ну, хорошо, за это возьмусь.
Good. No need to check in with the NCR authorities. I can authorize your payment from OSI accounts.
Прекрасно.
Vaults typically contain a server room on a lower level, where they would have backed up their research data. A computer room, you understand? Download all the information on the central server to your Pip-Boy, and you'll be certain to bring me any notes or samples that you find, won't you?
Так, окей. Не растит трава. Хорошо, но мне нужно знать что-то еще, может быть?
I thought it was a fairly straightforward assignment. It's a simple question of retrieving the data, which shouldn't prove overly challenging. Downloading the data will be handled by your Pip-Boy. You might think of yourself as a mere means of conveyance. No insult intended, of course.
Так, ну-ка.
Oh?
Еще вопросики. Ну это такие, ладно. Давай. Так, окей.
Did Dr. Hildern... This really isn't any of my business, but... Did he give you a job?
Да, он попросил меня добыть некоторые сведения из убежища 22.
I shouldn't say anything. I know that. But you're not the first person Hildern sent out to the vault. There were a lot of mercs, one after another. None of them came back. Then about a week ago, there was a scientist, Keeley. She's unusual. Not the sort of person you'd expect, but she's an absolute genius, and he didn't mention her? Not even her name? Or any of the other mercs?
Нет, Хилдерн ни о ком не упоминал.
But now he's hired you, Which means one of two things. Either he heard back from Keeley, and she failed, or he's given up on her. Listen, I make a fair wage, but I'm not rich. Not by any means. Maybe my kind of money wouldn't appeal to your average merc. But I'm willing to pay you if you'll find Keeley and make sure she's safe. Isn't right leaving her out there. No idea if she's alive or dead.
Да... Ладно, я поищу ее.
I had a good feeling about you. Moment you walked in. I mean it.
Ну, не то чтобы доверять, но за деньги без проблем. Найду.
Right. Good luck.
Давай. Такс. Ну, теперь можно и второй этаж изучить. Тут у нас где-то, говорят, допрос проводится. Здравствуйте. Такс, нет, не то. Тут пока никого не вижу. Крутой самолет. Ну и хлама вот здесь всякого. А, вот вы где.
Boyd's in there with a prisoner right now. Boy, is she pissed. Boyd's in there with a prisoner right now. Boy, is she pissed.
Лютует, говоришь? Это ж легионер, с ним можно.
You stick out like a sore thumb around here. You sure you're in the right place?
А, помощь нужна, может быть?
Yeah. So far this has gone exactly as expected. Poorly. But with the work you've done for NCR already, you might be just what I've been looking for. We captured an honest-to-God centurion of Caesar's Legion recently.
Все так серьезно?
Better believe it. Everybody in Caesar's Legion from Caesar on down will kill themselves before they can be captured. They're so twitchy they'd probably do it if you reached out to hug them. But here's this guy, who's an elite commander in their army and he just gives himself up, even as his men are slitting their own throats around him.
Как думаешь, что это значит?
Well, I don't know about you, but to me that sounds like a man who's willing to cooperate. Except he hasn't. Only times he speaks up are to insult you. He's a real prick, by the way. And I'm supposed to get information out of this guy.
Почему бы тебе просто не избить пленника до потери сознания?
I like the way you think. Have I said that yet? Problem is that the NCR frowns on using that sort of tactic. There's some restrictions still in place from President Tandy's administration. But here's my favorite thing about you. You're not in the NCR. Plus, for all this guy knows, you're completely insane. That's a winning combination.
И ты хочешь поручить мне то, что у тебя не получается.
I think if you rough him up enough and really put some fear into him, he'll sing like a choir boy. So let's do this. When you're ready, I'll go in and give you a little intro. Then I leave the room and you make him regret the day he was born. We go back and forth a couple times until either he talks or he can't move his jaw anymore. Either way, we've had our entertainment for the day.
Ну, приступим.
That's the spirit. Okay, I'll go in and have a word with him. Then I'll call you in.
Давай. Так, сохранюсь.
Long time no see, Silus.
Lieutenant, I was just thinking about you.
That's so.
I was just thinking about that pretty neck of yours.
How sweet.
I was thinking about how it would look with a Legion slave collar on it.
I'll pass.
Do you know what I love about our slave collars, Lieutenant?
If you love them, maybe you should try one on.
I love how tightly they fit. I train my men to make sure the slave's flesh bulges a bit around the top and bottom. Know why?
It's all the rage in fashion circles?
Not quite. If you fit it just right, their body never gets used to the feeling of wearing it. It cuts in just enough when they swallow or turn their head to remind them who they belong to. And it's that constant reminder that keeps them docile.
In that case, maybe you'd better save the collar you were gonna give me.
Oh? For whom?
For a friend of mine you're about to meet. My friend isn't very docile.
And who is this friend of yours?
You know all the rules the NCR instituted to protect enemy prisoners of war?
Of course.
My friend doesn't. Oh, and Silus? If you resist at all, I'll personally blow your brains out. Come on in, he's all yours. I'll be back in a bit to see how you're getting along. And I'll need you to surrender your weapons before you go in. You can pick them up from the locker on your way out.
Ну, погнали. Здорово, клоун.
What an ugly little worm you are. What pile of excrement did the lieutenant pluck you from, worm?
Ты что-то путаешь. Кучу Кучу экскрементов я вижу перед собой.
You must have some reason to be in your line of work. Tell me, what did the Legion do to you? Did we enslave your children? Slaughter your family before your eyes to teach you a lesson? Whatever it was, I hope I was there to give the order.
Кстати, интересно, красноречие не работает как будто на него. Ну там почему-то такой вопросик нарисован вместо провал или успех. А что, грустно, когда некому приказывать? Все твои люди мертвы.
Foot soldiers of the Legion are trained not to have to think for themselves, to have conflict removed from their minds. They kill themselves to evade capture because they are not trusted to make such a decision rationally in the heat of battle. But I'm no foot soldier. I knew I could escape captivity on my own without revealing the tiniest iota of information to my captors.
Сдается мне, что у тебя просто кишка тонка следовать приказу Цезаря.
I'll show you gutless, you sniveling bastard. I'll spill your guts all over this room.
Да, расслабься.
Is something the matter, Silus? You look upset. Here, maybe you'd better step out for a moment. You've upset him.
Да, без проблем.
A miserable fucking degenerate.
I don't know. I thought he seemed like a nice guy.
If we were on the other side of the river, I'd have him torn apart by dogs.
That's a long walk, Silus. I don't think it's gonna happen. You'd better just talk.
Your tactics are a joke.
If you don't like dealing with me, I can bring my friend back in.
Both of you can rot.
Have it your way. Come on back in. I think he misses you.
Скучает? О, ну, не пойдет. Сейчас навестим его. Здорово, чмо.
We don't have anything to discuss, worm.
Да, я хочу узнать, как трус смог получить звание Центуриона.
Coward. I've faced odds that would make your NCR soldiers wet themselves. I've led charges against men with guns, carrying only my knife. And I can tell you, it was they who feared me. But suicide is a weak death on a battlefield. It says to your enemy that you fear capture. It says if you're caught, you can be broken.
Если ты не готов это принять, ты просто слабак.
You think I'm going to slit my throat for some megalomaniacal self-appointed dictator? I didn't work my way up to have it all be taken from me out of some irrational paranoia. Caesar's losing it. I believe that. He's been shutting himself in his tent. Privately, he complains of headaches. Whatever it is, it's affecting his ability to lead. Time was essential for my mission, but we waited 3 days for him to dispatch us. Another of his headaches. Does that sound like a man in command? He has an operative planted in this very base, but does he use his agent to rescue me? No. He's content to have the agent spend his nights radioing troop positions back to our base camp. He knows I'm here, and he's left me to rot.
Кто этот агент?
I don't know. I know he sends intelligence by radio in the middle of the night. Sometimes that intelligence would find its way to my cantery.
Я тебе не верю, ты лжешь.
Then you're a fool. That man reports to Caesar on what I do here. The Legion isn't going to take me back. My only hope is to escape and disappear. But if I escape and he reports it, they'll hunt me down as long as I live. It served me to report him as much as it served you.
Кажется, ты уже рассказал мне все, что нужно. Спасибо за помощь.
I hope the Legion burns your wretched body at the stake when they conquer this place. Nothing I could tell you would do anything to stop that.
Да. А Цезарь-то ваша касса болеет, да?
You did well. I don't know how you did it without putting a scratch on him, and I'm a little disappointed personally, but it saved the NCR some face. And it could save us more than that when all is said and done. I'm gonna talk to some people when we're through here. This is about double the standard fee we'd give a consultant, but from what I saw, you're more of an artist. So think of this as your commission.
Так. 3 сотки, нормально. Сойдет. До свидания.
Yep, see you around. You got something to say, or do you always look like that?
К Веронике докопались. Так, ну тогда буду на этом серию заканчивать. Вот такая она была интересная. Познакомились немножко с лагерем Маккарран. Допросили эту собаку в красных тряпках. Ну и продолжим исследование этого лагеря. Я думаю, тут еще куча работы. Уже пару квестов нашли. Так что будет чем заняться в следующих сериях.